Well, hello there, friends. I'm so glad you've joined me today because I have a little story to share, one that started right here in my own kitchen and ended up transforming my garden in ways I never expected. Let me ask you, have you ever looked at something as ordinary as cornmeal and wondered if it could do more than just thicken your cornbread or coat your frying pan? Most of us have a bag tucked away in the pantry, but I discovered it has a secret life outside the kitchen. My journey with this golden powder began quite by accident. I was wrestling with a stubborn patch of lifeless soil in my garden. No matter what I tried, nothing seemed to work. Compost, cover crops, endless watering, my efforts just weren't enough. The soil stayed hard and unyielding, and my plants looked more miserable by the day. One rainy afternoon, feeling a bit defeated, I found myself flipping through an old gardening almanac I'd picked up at a flea market. Tucked in the margin, almost as an afterthought, was a tiny handwritten note. Try cornmeal for soil-borne diseases. It was so simple, I almost laughed. Skeptical but desperate, I figured I had nothing to lose. I grabbed a bag of cornmeal from the kitchen, scooped out a generous handful, and sprinkled it over the tired soil, raking it in gently. It felt a little odd, like I was baking a cake in the garden, but sometimes you have to trust the process. Of course, there were no instant results. Gardening, as I've learned, is all about patience and faith in the unseen. I kept tending to the bed, watering and waiting, not really expecting much. But over the next few weeks, something remarkable happened. The soil began to soften, almost as if it was waking up from a long nap. Earthworms, nature's little miracle workers, started to appear, wriggling through the earth. My plants, once droopy and dull, perked up and sent out new shoots. It wasn't a dramatic overnight change, but a slow, steady transformation. Day by day, the garden bed grew healthier, the plants stronger, and the soil richer. It was like watching a quiet miracle unfold right before my eyes. That little experiment changed how I see my garden and my kitchen. It made me realize that sometimes the most powerful solutions are the ones we overlook, hiding in plain sight among our everyday ingredients. It taught me that simple, natural solutions can be incredibly powerful. We don't always need fancy products or complicated formulas. Sometimes, the answer is as close as our own pantry shelf. I used to think the best gardening answers came in shiny bottles from the garden center, but now I know better. The real magic often comes from the simplest things, like a humble bag of cornmeal sitting next to the flour and sugar. That unassuming bag of cornmeal became my secret weapon, a bridge between my kitchen and my garden, and a reminder that nature often gives us what we need if we're willing to look. Gardening, I've learned, is about working with nature, not against it. When we listen to the land and use what it offers, we create harmony and abundance. Feed the soil, and the soil will feed your plants. It's a simple truth, but one that's easy to forget in our busy, modern lives. The lesson here? Don't overlook the simple things. Sometimes, the most ordinary items can spark the biggest changes, so the next time you're in your kitchen, take a second look at those pantry staples. You never know what kind of gardening breakthrough might be waiting for you in a bag of cornmeal or a jar of baking soda. Cornmeal isn't just for baking, it's a surprisingly effective tool for building a thriving, healthy garden. It's a reminder that sometimes the best solutions are the ones that connect us back to the basics. And to think, it all started with a sprinkle of cornmeal and a little hope. Sometimes, that's all you need to begin something wonderful. How can something as simple as cornmeal make such a big difference in your garden? It might seem surprising, but the answer lies in the hidden world just beneath the surface of the soil. It's all about the microscopic world beneath our feet. Every handful of soil is alive, with billions of tiny organisms, each playing a unique role in the health of your plants. Your soil is a bustling ecosystem, teeming with bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and other minuscule life forms. These organisms break down organic matter, recycle nutrients, and form partnerships with plant roots. Some of these microbes are incredibly helpful, boosting plant growth and defending against threats. Others, however, can cause disease and weaken your garden. When you add cornmeal, you're providing a food source for the beneficial microbes, especially a powerful fungus called trichoderma, which thrives on the nutrients in cornmeal. Think of it like putting out a bird feeder. When you offer the right food, the right creatures show up. In this case, trichoderma and other helpful microbes multiply rapidly. As trichoderma populations grow, they crowd out and even attack harmful fungi that cause root rot and other diseases. They act as natural defenders, patrolling the soil. This process is called competitive exclusion. The beneficial microbes outcompete the bad ones for space and resources, tipping the balance in favor of plant health. Instead of constantly reacting to disease outbreaks, you're building a resilient ecosystem that naturally protects itself from problems before they start. This is a proactive, natural defense system, one that works with nature, not against it. By feeding the life in your soil, you make it much harder for disease to take hold. Healthy soil means healthy roots, and healthy roots mean thriving plants. A simple sprinkle of cornmeal supports an entire underground world, helping your garden flourish from the ground up. It's not magic, it's the science of biology at work, harnessing the power of nature's own systems. And the best part? It all starts with something as ordinary as cornmeal, right from your own pantry. Healthy soil is the heart and soul of every thriving garden, whether you're growing vegetables, flowers, or even fruit trees. Without rich, living soil, plants struggle to reach their full potential, no matter how much you water or fertilize. It's the foundation of every great garden, supporting strong roots and vibrant growth above ground. Cornmeal isn't just a disease fighter, it's a powerful, natural soil conditioner that's easy to use and safe for organic gardens. When you add cornmeal, you're feeding the beneficial microbes and earthworms that work tirelessly underground, breaking down organic matter and creating a living, breathing soil ecosystem. Earthworms improve aeration and drainage, and their castings are packed with nutrients that enrich the soil, making it more fertile and productive. Cornmeal helps heavy clay soils become lighter and easier to work with, breaking up compacted areas and allowing roots to spread more freely. And, in sandy soils, cornmeal helps the ground hold onto precious moisture, reducing the need for constant watering and helping plants thrive even in dry spells. Over time, it nudges your soil closer to that perfect, crumbly texture every gardener dreams of, loose, rich, and full of life. Building healthy soil is a gradual process, but cornmeal can speed things up by jump-starting microbial activity and encouraging earthworm populations to flourish. Each application is an investment in your garden's future, laying the groundwork for seasons of abundant harvests and beautiful blooms. Over time, you'll notice your soil becoming darker, richer, and more vibrant, a clear sign that life is returning below the surface. That's the unmistakable smell of life, a thriving garden from the ground up, filled with the promise of healthy plants and bountiful harvests. Simple amendments like cornmeal can make a world of difference, transforming tired, depleted soil into a living, productive foundation for your plants. It's all about supporting the ecosystem beneath your feet, nurturing the tiny organisms and earthworms that keep your garden healthy and resilient. Remember, healthy soil means healthy plants. Start with cornmeal and watch your garden come alive like never before. Let's connect the dots. How does cornmeal help your plants? It energizes soil microbes, which break down nutrients into forms plants can use. Cornmeal isn't a fertilizer, but it unlocks your soil's pantry. Microbes fueled by cornmeal mineralize nutrients for easy plant uptake. The result? Stronger roots, richer leaves, sturdier stems, and more fruit. Heavy feeders like tomatoes and squash especially benefit. Regular cornmeal and compost keep the nutrient cycle going all season. It's a holistic way to feed your garden, nurture the soil, and the plants will thrive. Healthy roots, healthy harvests, all thanks to a simple sprinkle. Cornmeal's real magic? Disease defense. It boosts trichoderma, a fungus that attacks root rot and damping off culprits. Sprinkle cornmeal in seed starting mix or on soil to protect vulnerable seedlings. For blight or mildew, make a cornmeal tea and spray it on leaves. It's a gentle, natural shield. No harsh chemicals needed. Keep your garden healthy, the natural way. Ready to try it? Here's how. For garden beds, use 1-2 pounds per 100 square feet, just a generous dusting. Sprinkle it over the soil, mix into the top few inches, and you're set. At planting time, add cornmeal with your compost and other amendments. Throughout the season, side dress heavy feeders with a handful each month. For containers, add a tablespoon or 2 per gallon of soil. Mix well to prevent fungal issues and keep soil lively. Don't stress about precision. A little goes a long way. Regular small applications keep the soil ecosystem thriving. It's easy, forgiving, and effective. Your plants and soil will thank you. Cornmeal works everywhere. Big gardens, raised beds, or balcony pots. Buy in bulk for large plots or just use pantry cornmeal for containers. In raised beds, mix in a few handfuls each spring with compost. For pots, add a sprinkle monthly to keep soil healthy and moist. Even flower beds and lawns benefit. Roses, perennials, and grass all thrive with healthier soil. One simple tool, endless possibilities for a resilient, beautiful garden. Want to level up? Try these advanced tricks. Make a biological inoculant, mix cornmeal with compost and water, let it sit, then add to soil. For tough fungal problems, use horticultural cornmeal, more concentrated for serious issues. Brew compost tea with cornmeal for a probiotic boost. Bubble it for 24 to 48 hours, then spray on plants. Add cornmeal to your compost pile to speed up decomposition and reduce odors. It's a versatile tool for soil health, disease prevention, and composting. Experiment and see what works best in your garden. Sometimes a little extra effort brings big rewards. So there you have it. Cornmeal is more than a pantry staple. It builds soil, feeds plants, and fights disease, all in one. Start small. Try it in a bed or a few pots and see the results for yourself. Gardening is about learning and experimenting. Let cornmeal be your next experiment. Share your experiences in the comments. What's your secret garden weapon? Every gardener's story adds to our collective knowledge. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more tips and stories from the garden. Thanks for joining me today. Now get your hands dirty and let your soil tell its story. Until next time, happy gardening.